Hey, before we start, I would like to say a big thank you to our patrons. Special honor to Eric. Thank you to Simon Seneder, David Hensel, Melina Brunner, Robert Hartl, Erich Gangel, Reinhard Bauer, Theresa, Maximilian Heinle. Without your help, we can't make our game Codex and this YouTube tutorial. My name is Simon Gangel and today I want to create the game asset with you. I'm talking about the fantasy Warhammer weapon, which should be implemented to our game Codex later. I will explain in this tutorial series how to create the 3D object with help of my concept, how to set UV seams and to create a UV layout plus UV map, and how to draw a hand-painted texture with Photoshop and Blender texture painting tool. So let's head to Blender and place the weapon concept as background image. If you don't know what is a view plane and how to make the setup for those, feel free to watch another tutorial of background images which is linked in the description below. Right now we don't know the correct scaling of this weapon. I will just start modeling the handle after I place the view planes in a nice way. The handle is a 6-sided cylinder. I do some proper adjustments. There's a metal detail on the top and end side of this handle. Just extrude and scale for this geometry. First I set the total length and add the edge ring afterwards for a thicker ring in the middle. Then I continue with the golden end piece. I add a sphere with 6 segments as well. Delete the upper part and merge it with the handle geometry. Okay, this is already pretty good. If you check the concept again, you see that the iron part of the lower part here is similar with the iron part upwards there. So I just select this geometry and duplicate it to the top part. Check if you have activated auto merged editing, so that you don't need to care about doubled vertices at the same position anymore. Now I want to create this clasp part here, which shouldn't be 6-sided anymore. Therefore I create a cube and add an edge loop to the front and side part. I delete all these faces because I will work with a mirror modifier. Now start to adjust the form. I'm preparing the vertices for an extrude. The corner part is currently not well connected. I snap one of these edges to the same X position of the other edge here and fill the gap. Now tidy up the geometry. Actually, this is not such a bad thing so far. Next I want to care about those side spikes here. Those elements are pretty tiny compared to the rest, so I decided to give them 4 sides by adding a new cube and rotate it to 45 degrees on Z-axis. Then I bring the bottom and top face to a proper size and rotation and start extruding again. I add further geometry to implement the tiny spikes underneath. The new vertices should be placed where the center of the spike should be afterwards. Now I call up the special window by pressing W and select bevel. Currently this doesn't affect my selection, because I need to make a proper setting for this method. So accept the bevel and go to the setting options. Enable vertex only and bevel again. Now it works. Extrude the new face and merge all vertices at center. Tidy up the mesh geometry. Let's head to the ring part on the bottom. I create again a cylinder and rotate and scale it till I get a proper form. This time I use 8 sides for a better feeling of a round shape. For this mesh it is easier to mirror the mesh as well. Now inverse the edge ring and delete the face. Bring the inner loop to epsilon 0. After that I can apply the modifier and delete the unused faces within the other mesh. The handle basic geometry is finished now. Okay, let's head to the next step. The crystal. This special stone is a weapon's head. It has a special form with many flat faces. Every single edge can be marked as hard edge. As basic shape, I choose a cube and scale it to a proper size. Afterwards, I try to find a nice shape by assigning a bevel to the long side of this cube. For sure the same result would be possible with an 8-sided cylinder. I preferred to work with this method anyway. Now add left and right an edge loop so that we can scale the outer face and intersect it a little bit. The basic shape is done, but now I want to individualify the single faces. This is the reason why I add unique new edges and modify them. A very useful tool to cut flat faces is the bisect tool. Select all, press spacebar and search for bisect. Drag and drop a straight line within the 3D view panel. This line is like a sword thrust, which cuts through the mesh. Check the setting option on the left side. Enable clear outer and fill. Your mesh got successfully cut back. You can repeat this process wherever you wanna. Always care about the faces you want to cut. Very important afterwards is to tidy up your mesh structure. All faces should be triangles or quads. Next I want to model the spikes on the left side. I start again with a cube and bring it to place. The use of the mirror modifier is an opportunity to avoid unnecessary work. Very important for me was to keep this geometry as low poly as possible, but it makes sense for me to connect all vertices. Otherwise you can just stick the meshes together. I applied the Boolean modifier to the main crystal mesh to start connecting those two meshes. Make sure that you apply the mirror modifier to the spikes first. Mark the spike mesh with the pipette to tell the modifier which objects should be connected, and bring the setting from intersect to union. Hit now apply modifier. Okay, you got now a new merged mesh and the ordinary second mesh, which you don't need anymore. However, you see that the modifier worked. Now it is time to tidy up your mesh structure again. I'm deeply ashamed to admit I forgot the two spikes in the middle here. So I am doing the whole process again. Model, mirror modifier, apply, Boolean union modifier, apply, tidy up the mesh structure. Crystal Holdfast. The next step is the holdfast of the crystal and the stuff. I start with a cylinder for the rings around the crystal and try to adjust the single sides to the crystal surface. I need to give the ring a thickness and delete the inner part of these faces. Isolate the ring in your view with slash key. Select the faces you want to inset. Care to change your pivot point of selection from median to individual origin and hit I for inset. Delete the inner face and close the open gaps. At least I'm adding some details to the holdfast system. But this is nothing new or special anymore. If you liked this little tutorial, please give us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for further tutorials. We love creating tutorials, but we need as well some support. Become our patron and help us to help you. Thank you very much for watching, hope to see you again, cheers!